You better step back and look at yourself, baby. Get a little closer.
What's going on, guys? It's Pure Turbo here, and today we're going to take a look at my Stamina NightBlade build. I haven't given it a name because it's on the PTS, and it's pretty early in the PTS, so there's a lot of changes that could happen with sustain, with CP, etc. So I will update those changes on the website. The website will be in the description at fearturbo.com, so make sure you check that out because some changes may happen. But the idea of the build is going to stay the same, and we're going to take a look at the gear first. Two-Fang Snake. Massive penetration, because that's the meta right now. Solid set. We're going to stick with that, just as like last patch, but the difference is we're going to be using War Machine. Now War Machine is going to give us max stamina, minor slayer, weapon damage, and when we use an ult, we gain major slayer for us and 2 allies, which is a massive boost to group DPS and self DPS. We're not going to be using a 2-piece on this build because we want to be using the Maelstrom daggers. We're going to go double daggers, 1 sharp and 1 precise. And we're going to put a little bit points into penetration right now, but I won't show the CP because it's not done yet, and the CP is a little buggy with how Master at Arms works, and the penetration isn't working correctly right now. So just make sure to look out on the website for the updates on that. We're going to use a backbar Maelstrom bow. We're going to use it sharpened because we want to keep our penetration on our backbar for our dots while we swap. Also, things to note is NightBlades have a extremely low cost ultimate, which is going to make War Machine very, very, very good for the NightBlade. And on top of that, look, it's giving us 15% extra damage for 10 seconds. Our low-cost ultimate, Incap, is going to increase our damage by 20% for 6 seconds. So when we use an ult, we better go ham. We better go so hard, which means we need to have our dots out and our buffs up when we ult, because we are going to have that 10-second, the 6-second window, and then the 10-second window to really go hard. And now this makes NightBlades viable. It doesn't make them stronger as a class, but it definitely makes the group stronger, and it gives them a place because they have a low-cost ultimate that is actually really strong. Now, Soul Harvest does magic damage and gains you more ult per kills, but you know, when we're in boss fights and stuff like that, we don't bring stamina for trash. Obviously, you'd gain more ultimate if you killed the mobs with Soul Harvest, and you would have more uptime there. But we're bringing Stam NightBlades for the single target. We're bringing them for the this War Machine buff, etc. So we're going to be using Incap because it's going to help. It's actually going to do disease damage. So that's personally what I like. You can use Soul Harvest, but I like this. Now my bar setup is normal, Rending Slashes, Deadly Cloak. I have Relentless Focus on the front bar because I find this skill to be very aggravating to use because it doesn't refresh when you shoot the bow. So for that matter, I have it on both bars because I'm going to treat it kind of like Power of the Light. I'm going to cast it when I can in my rotation. I'm not going to let Relentless Focus make my rotation around it. I'm just going to make my Relentless Focus work around my rotation. So basically, I'm not going to shoot it on the back bar or on the front bar when it's up. I'm going to shoot it whenever I can. I'm not going to worry about it. Even though it's a pretty good skill that can crit, and it can crit really high. Basically, it's like a pre-25%, killer's blade, which is really cool. But the main reason we have it here is for our damage buff on our sustain. And this skill does a lot. It does a lot, and I like it. We're going to be using the Maelstrom daggers, so we have rapid strikes. We're going to empower basically the same rotation I always use, which is rapid strikes, swap, ramming trap, bow, injection. Because we are Nightblade, because we have sustained passives plus a sustained skill, allows us to have the option to use caltrops. Even though it cost more than last patch per cast, it does a lot of damage. And so we're gonna need it. And because we're on the Nightblade, we will be able to sustain. Now, they changed siphoning attacks to leeching strikes, which I've personally never even heard of. I think it's been through a lot of iterations. I think one time it was a toggle, one time it was really good for tanks. Now it's just all over the place. And honestly, casting stamina to get stamina back was such a low amount is not worth it. Not even gonna put it on my bar. I'm not even gonna deal with it. I'm not even gonna test it to see if it is worth it. Because after watching Gilliam's video, I think he said you'd have to light attack literally every weave and be like a robot or something just to get this actual stam back for the amount it costs. Like actually profit off. So why even have it on your bar and worry about it? I'm just taking it off and not dealing with it. So I'm gonna double bar Relentless. We're gonna use incap on the back bar. You could probably put incap on the front bar, but I want the extra weapon damage since rend on my front bar is a really good skill, and it goes so well with the maelstrom, daggers. But the DPS boost the team will get from me casting incap over and over and over will be better than me using maelstrom and then rend. So I'm just going to go front bar Dawnbreaker, and basically I'm just going to cast my damage abilities, have all my dots out, right? Rapid strikes. On my back bar, throw my dots out. Now I know all my dots are out. Then I'm going to incap, go to my front bar, and just go ham for 10 seconds. Look at that, 34. Oops, I'm supposed to do that, but anyway, you guys get the idea. Basically, look, I almost have another incap. And basically, the way you get stamina back, the way we're playing this is, after we ult, we want to, look, I already have it back, Jesus. After we ult, we want to go super hard. When we're not ulting, when the buff is down, we want to gain stamina back. So we're going to do rapid strikes and heavy attacks. Just like that. So we're going to have all our buffs up. At the back bar. Shoot out caltrops. And we're just going to go super hard, 10 seconds. Then our hands stop glowing, we're going to go back. This is where we get our juice back, right here. We're just going to heavy attack. Just like this. As you can see, we're starting to sustain better and better. So then we would have, right? So we'd go to our back bar, we'd do our trap, our inhale, injection, caltrops, make sure the buff is up, and then we do this again, and then go ham. So we do ult, we go ham. We go to our back bar, we don't ult because it's not up yet, it's every other time, and then we come back and we do rapid strikes and heavy attacks. That's how we're going to sustain, along with 19 points in the health and the dubious food. That's how we're going to sustain this patch. That's how I will do it until they change some sustain skills or passives or add something new in, etc. If those things do get changed, like I said, I will update the site. So guys, if you like this build, it's a damage. It has a damage set and it has a personal damage set, but the other damage, the War Machine, like right here, we have a personal damage set. Then we have a group and personal damage set. So we're pretty useful for the team here. Obviously, Magic and NightBlades have access to Soul Harvest, and they're ranged, and they have a shield and whatever. But Stam NightBlade making a comeback. Honestly, I mean, the damage was already decent if you were very skilled, it takes a long time to master NightBlade, and I'm no master, but working your Maelstrom dots on your back bar, and then Killer's blading at the same time, and then incapping is going to be a lot to take in and a lot to manage. But with practice, this build can be very beneficial to yourself and to the group. So guys, if you like this, if you have any questions, maybe I missed something, again, the CP will not be in the video, and the food and sustain changes, if they make any, and the CP allocation will be all on the website when time comes. So if you leave a comment below, if you have any questions, I will answer them best I can. Alright guys, have a good day.
You wanna live just like kings and queens, then you better step back and look at yourself, baby. Get a little closer.